What can God do in reality? Now, I'm not asking you what your God has done. No. You say your God is real, your God exists. And it's only a fool that said there is no God according to you. Okay. Let's agree that I'm a fool. I give it to you, I'm a fool. Okay? Okay, so can I see your God? I say there is no God. In my heart, with my mouth, everywhere, I say there is no God. But you insist that there is God. So I'm asking you now, what can that God do now? Not tomorrow, not later. What can that God do now to prove that you are right, that there is God? Everywhere, it is people who are telling you about God. Nobody has shown you God. And I say, you cannot describe and demonstrate what you have not seen and can't see. If you cannot see something before, but you can see it now if it is real. You did not see your ancestors when they were alive, but you see them now because you are that your ancestors. You share the same blood with them. But God, nobody, everybody describing God to you, they are delusional, they are schizophrenics. None of them can show you the God they're talking about. They tell you to believe it. That's why it is called faith. You cannot know it, you can only believe it. That's why it is fraud. That's why it is scam. That's why it is 419. That's why it is corruption. That's why it is lie. What can your God do for you now? Let's start with you. Real thing your God can do, not what you believe your God can do, not what you thought your God can do, not what is written your God can do. I mean, what can your God do for you now in reality? It's not enough yet. Another question. What can your God do to me now? What can your God do to me, or what can God do to me? You that is preaching God, you that believe in God, you that knowing God, you that claim you know God. You say your faith is a spiritual knowledge. It's through faith you know God created the whole world and heaven and earth. Through faith you know God created you. Through faith this, through faith that. Through that faith, show me that God. I want you to show, don't tell me God in me, God everywhere. No, show you. You that say you know the God you worship. You know the God you serve. Show me that God. If you cannot show me that God, it means you are mentally ill. Let me use your term. I don't mean to disrespect you or anybody that say they believe in God. But keep it to yourself. I'm asking this because you say you believe in God. You say there is God. You say you know God. One woman said that his God is her God is her husband. Her God is not imaginary. Her God is her husband. I say, show me your husband now. If you can say about your husband, you can show your husband. Unless you are schizophrenic, you are talking about imaginary being. It's only imaginary being you cannot show to someone else. You can only see it in your head. It's real only in your head. You can describe it only in your head, but to describe it to other people, it is impossible. That's why if you bring two people that believe in the same God with you, both of you will not have the same description of God. And that's why the people that created God told you, oh, you cannot know God. God is many things. Everything is God. Everything is God. Everything is God. Nothing is God. There's no God anywhere. And the way I put it, there is no real God anywhere. If you say you are God, then show us. Demonstrate it. Let God speak for himself. You say God is in you. Show me the location of it. Show me that God that is in you If God in you cannot see it, you are delusional. What can your God do? You see the Hurricane Melissa killing people and destroying properties in Jamaica. What can your God do? You see the ICE in America arresting and deporting people anyhow. What can your God do? Okay, you haven't paid your rent, you haven't paid your school fees or your children's own, or whatever problem you are facing. What can your God do? Oh no, stop talking about God. Let's talk about what will move people forward, what will get people rich. Then why are you believing in God? Faith in God is a distraction. It distracts you for the real solution to the problem, and want you to continue believing that one day, not any actual day, one day God will intervene. One day you will meet that God. One day you will stand before. One day. I tell them, one day is not a day. One day is not in any calendar. Is there any calendar that you see there is a day they are called one day? It's impossible. We can have you can have all the calendar in this world, you will not see one day in them. Because one day is imaginary thought. No date. That's why their holy book, no date. Tell us what your God can do. Not what is written, not what is preached, not what is believed, not what is declared, not what is forced. You see all the bad things going on in your community. What can God do? Nothing. God cannot save you. God cannot provide for you. God cannot feed you. God cannot help you. God cannot do anything. Because God is an imaginary being. God does not exist. You can be upset all you want. You can rant all you want. But it does not exist. And whatever you want to happen to me to prove your God exists, at least let it happen now. Let me see. What is your God afraid of? What is your God waiting for? Or what is that God afraid of? That God cannot show up and speak for itself. See, now I'm driving through this flood. You see how every car slowed down. If you are in the middle of this flood, what can your God do? Nothing. You will go through it like everyone else. Your prayers, your faith, your anointing. Bullshit. You cannot do anything in reality. That's why people that preach God to you collect money from you. How can you tell me you are doing spiritual thing that requires money? How can you tell me you are doing spiritual thing that requires you in the first place? Anything you are doing is natural, is carnal. Anything you are doing, including preaching God, is carnal thing. And that's why you cannot please that God, because they tell you a carnal man cannot please God. He cannot please whatever God you believe in or worship, because you have not seen that God and you cannot see that God. How can you please who you have not seen? It's impossible. You can only please who you have seen or who you can see. You cannot please a being you have not seen. How many of you are trying to please a Spider-Man? Incredible Hulk? How many of you try to please any dragon? They are imaginary beings, characters, fictional characters. They are not real. God, Jesus, angels, or that bush, they are imaginary. They are not true. They cannot do anything in reality. Whether for you or to me, they cannot, they are useless. If that God exists, can't you see how I'm talking against such idea? That God will let him strike me, at least it's raining, so thunder can blow. So it will just strike me now I'm driving. Because that's one of the things they always tell me. God will send thunder to strike you. You say there is no God. Yeah? Fuck that God. I kill that God if he show up. He can never show up because it's imagine. My father did not see God. My ancestors did not see God. And I have not seen God. And you're telling me, God, fuck all that. Trash every God and enjoy your life, please. God,